Could a single man, profoundly absorbed in culture and history, alter our perspective of an entire region? Our narrative deepens with the birth of James Tod. The stage is set on the 20th of March, 1782, amidst the vibrant streets of London. Born the second son to James and Mary, both from highly esteemed families, Tod was destined for an extraordinary life. His intellectual journey began in the Highlands of Scotland, the ancestral land of his forefathers, including warriors who served bravely alongside Robert, the King of Scots. A pivotal phase in his life unfolded when he joined the esteemed British East India Company, leading him to the Royal Military Academy, Woolwich, to satiate his thirst for military knowledge. However, the real turning point occurred in 1799 when he boarded a ship to India as a cadet in the Bengal Army, a position contingent on patronage. His journey in India was marked by his travels with the royal court, exploration of the cultural and historical aspects of the land, and extensive topographical and geological studies of the terrain. In a remarkable act of heroism and courage, Tod made a significant contribution by rescuing numerous princely families from destitution, who had fallen victim to the relentless Maratha raiders. Tod's intellectual curiosity and his observations of the Rajput social systems led him with the feudal system of medieval Europe. He admired their traditions of orally recounting history through generations and the system of checks and balances between the ruling princes and their vassal lords. These attributes, according to Tod, held the potential to grant sovereignty to the Rajputs, adding to their sense of identity and integrity. His keen interest in geography culminated in creating a strategic map of central India, a priceless resource that he presented to the Governor-General, the Marquis of Hastings. This exceptional contribution marked a significant milestone in his life, forever altering the way we perceive the Indian subcontinent. Tod also believed in the Rajputs' developmental trajectory, comparing it to nations such as Britain. His insights and experiences provide a unique perspective, making a compelling argument for an alternative historical path for the Rajput society. In 1799, a youthful Tod, barely of age, began his arduous journey to the mystical lands of India as a fledgling cadet in the esteemed Bengal Army. His ascension through the ranks was nothing short of meteoric. His exceptional competence and leadership skills quickly became evident, causing a ripple of unease amongst his superiors. David Ochterlony, in particular, harbored a sense of awe as Tod's rapid rise was reminiscent of his own younger days. Before long, Tod found himself thrust into the coveted position of captain, where he was entrusted to escort an envoy within the regal court of Scindia. The Third Anglo-Maratha War marked a significant chapter in Tod's life, mainly due to his role as the superintendent of the intelligence department. His astute strategies and instinctive intelligence operations played a pivotal role in the military campaign. However, Tod's tenure was not devoid of contention. During the heat of the war, he displayed bias towards one faction in a princely dispute, resulting in a stern reprimand and curtailment of his powers. Even with this setback, Tod's strategic brilliance was not overlooked. After the war, he was appointed as the political agent for various states of Western Rajputana, an area equivalent to present-day Rajasthan. His mission, as challenging as it was simple, was not only to bring these diverse states under the effective control of the East India Company, a task further complicated by his reduced authority, but also to redraw the territorial boundaries of these states. This endeavor required significant negotiation skills, a deep understanding of the political landscape, and a delicate balancing of interests to maintain peace and stability, while ensuring the overarching objective of consolidation was achieved. In his role as the newly appointed political agent, Tod was given control over the territories of Mewa, Kota, Sirohi, Bundi, Marwar, and Jaisalmer. His jurisdiction was as vast as the regions he governed. A staunch advocate of harmony, Tod was firm in his belief that the Rajput states should be exclusively populated by Rajput people. To actualize this, he instituted policies designed to expel Marathas, Pindaris, and other groups from the Rajput territories. He believed that this approach would preserve peace and unity among the states. Tod also understood the strategic importance of these territories for not just India, but also for the British Empire. Rajputana was seen as a defensive line against possible Russian invasions, adding a layer of political complexity to his role. Beyond politics, Tod also made efforts to restore peace and trust in the region, stimulating a revival of trade and a boost in state revenue. His dedication and diplomatic skill garnered him respect from both the chiefs and the locals, leading to the revitalization of abandoned towns and villages. However, Tod's empathy for the Rajput princes started to jeopardize his standing. He was frequently accused of favoritism and of neglecting the interests of the British Empire. His unconventional methods, while initially successful, started stirring discontent among his peers in the East India Company. This led to a gradual decline in his influence and stature within the company. Ultimately, due to escalating pressure and internal politics, Tod was forced to resign. Throughout these years, Tod delved deeply into the region's culture, history, and geography, carrying out rigorous research that would eventually shape his published works. However, his unconventional methods were met with skepticism within the East India Company. Over time, these tensions escalated, leading to a significant downscaling of his responsibilities. Consequently, Tod submitted his resignation, a decision that sparked a wave of as rumors of corruption began to swirl around him. However, these allegations were later investigated and proven to be baseless, vindicating Tod's name. In the year 1823, troubled by deteriorating health and reputation, Tod resigned from his post as political agent. But before he left India, he embarked on a personal journey to Bombay, soaking in the rich culture and vibrant city life. After this final voyage, he returned to his homeland, England. However, his bond with India was far from severed. Back in England, Tod devoted himself to publishing academic works about India's history and geography. His most remarkable piece, Annals and Antiquities of Rajasthan, was a culmination of materials collected during his travels, including his enriching trip to Bombay. Leaving India behind in 1826, Tod chose to retire from his military responsibilities and launched into a fresh phase of his life as a spouse, marrying Julia Clutterbuck. His post-military life presented a dramatic contrast, defined not by battles and conquests, but by domestic peace. Tod and Julia's family expanded with the birth of their children, adding yet more depth to Tod's civilian life. However, this serene period was overshadowed by his faltering health. Despite his deteriorating condition, Tod made a profound contribution to our comprehension of Rajputana, or as he tenderly referred to it, Rajasthan. His work was not without controversy, as Tod criticized the British East India Company's system of indirect rule and advocated for the preservation of Rajput territories. He believed that the Rajputana, with its rich history and culture, deserved to be maintained in its pure form, free from external influences. His dedication towards this cause gained him both accolades and criticism. On a somber day, November 18, 1835, at the premature age of 53, Tod succumbed to his illness. The world lost an extraordinary Oriental scholar and a dedicated officer of the British East India Company, a man who was a staunch critic of the indirect rule and a fervent believer in the preservation of Rajput territories. So we circle back to our primary inquiry. Can a single person reshape our understanding of an entire region? The response in the case of James Tod is a resounding yes. His relentless dedication to exploring and documenting Rajputana's history and geography offers us invaluable glimpses into a rich and diverse culture. His life, a tapestry woven with love, struggle, scholarly pursuits, and critical viewpoints, stands as a testament to the power of curiosity and the thirst for knowledge. James Tod was a man of many dimensions. His ideologies and political views were deeply influenced by the concept of romantic nationalism, a belief that emphasized the importance of shared history, culture, and language in the formation of nations. This belief guided his policies and actions during his tenure in India. Tod was an advocate for redrawing the territorial boundaries of the various states in Rajputana to better reflect their historical and cultural identities. He believed that the political boundaries should mirror the cultural boundaries, thereby enhancing the sense of nationhood among the people. Tod was also critical of the British system of indirect rule, which allowed local rulers to maintain their authority in exchange for their allegiance to the British Crown. He felt that this system undermined the sovereignty and dignity of the Rajput states. Instead, he advocated for the preservation of Rajput territories as independent entities, free from British interference. Tod's views extended to the political realm as well. He argued that the British were not merely conquerors, but nation creators. He believed that the British had a moral responsibility to help the Indian states develop into modern nations, guided by the principles of democracy and rule of law. In conclusion, Tod's ideologies and political views played a significant role in shaping the history of Rajputana. His advocacy for the preservation of Rajput culture and sovereignty and his belief in the British role as nation creators have left a lasting impact on the region. His life and work serve as a testament to the power of ideas and the importance of cultural respect and understanding.